Hey, this is Magda from Crypto Masters, and in this video I'd like to give you one really simple piece of investment advice. And this isn't only advice that concerns you if you're dealing in the crypto sphere, like if you're buying Bitcoins or Ethereum, whatever. This is actually investment advice that applies to any form of investment. You know, whether you're investing in properties, in silver, gold, whether you're buying businesses. This piece of advice all boils down to remember to know both sides of the coin. Both sides of the barricade will teach you to realize which are the dangers and what are the options, the opportunities for you to make on the basis of this investment. So know both sides of the story.
Well, it's a really important thing to keep in mind, especially in the world of cryptocurrencies. Why? Well, for two very important reasons. Because, first of all, the crypto sphere is filled with people who have never ever invested in anything before, who have never actually done any business to begin with. So they're kind of, you could say, businessly naive. And then, second of all, you've got the crypto sphere being filled with experienced businessmen and women who are actually hired to manipulate your investment decisions and to make money as a result of misleading you. That's why you really need to know your stuff, and you need to be immune to such manipulation if you want your piece of the cake. Now, there's this concept in psychology. It's called cognitive dissonance. Now, this is a state in which you realize that reality is actually different from what you thought it was, even if it's in just a small area. Let's say all your life you thought that something was green, and then suddenly you find out it was blue all along, and it turns out you're colorblind and you're shocked. You sit there in disbelief. How is this possible? Come on, everyone should see that color the same way as I saw it, right? Well, this is exactly what happens with cognitive dissonance in other areas of life, in investing, in whatever. So obviously this video isn't about color blindness. But if you think about it, it is a certain form of reality blindness that we're talking about. For example, in every kind of investment, if something keeps growing, then you can bet on it that at some point in the future it's going to stop growing, like the bubble will burst. It has to be this way. If everyone is talking about it and as a result everyone knows about it, then you know that the market has to kind of calm down, take a break, disperse itself into smaller projects like with Bitcoin. It will sooner or later have to disperse itself into other cryptocurrencies and other blockchain projects. That's just the way the market cycles work. And then someone comes along and starts saying things that are contradictory to what is generally accepted in the crypto sphere. Because usually in the world of Bitcoin, everyone is enthusiastically convinced of how perfect Bitcoin is and that it will forever keep growing, and the prices will just keep hitting the next all-time high. And more people come along, like me, for example, or others who say, yeah, it would be great, but what if that doesn't happen? And it's not that you're suddenly meant to agree with all the oppositionists or the critics or the haters. It's that you should be able to listen to both sides. You need to understand both sides of the barricade. Cognitive dissonance is that uncomfortable feeling that you have when someone comes along and tells you that something you believed in with all your heart isn't true. Now imagine some dude comes along and tells you that they had a dream and they discovered what Santa Claus really looked like, and that he's really a giant orangutan with a giant red bum instead of a giant red hat. Now, up till now, you probably had a rather different image of Santa Claus in your mind. You probably were convinced that he looked like a rather pleasant old man with a white beard and a red outfit. And suddenly you experience a cognitive dissonance, because what this dude's saying is totally contrary to what your culture in childhood had you believe all these years. That you automatically, you just treat someone saying stuff like that like a crazy lunatic. You automatically stop listening to them. or some other person comes along and tells you that Donald Trump really is the savior of the world in disguise and he's making an ass of himself to suffer and save humanity. You know, just because someone is saying something completely absurd to you or something that goes completely against what you've always been told or what you've always believed doesn't mean that you should automatically classify them as crazy, idiotic, or heretic. Now, I'm also not saying go and believe that Santa Claus is a red-assed monkey without questioning it. What I am saying is that wisdom is all about being able to open your mind to both arguments. Because remember that playing investments and business is a game of the intellect and rationality, not emotions. If you're only going to play using your emotions, then sooner or later you're going to lose. You're going to eat up everything the market tells you with a spoon. And the market will lie and it will manipulate. Because that's what it's there for. There are people hired specially to cause confusion, to create fake news, you know, to use FUDs, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is basically an anti-competition strategy in which you spread fake bad news about your competitor. Even if the consumers don't believe it, it still subconsciously shakes their belief in the original company. To spread panic and confusion, to get people to panic sell. They're like, oh my God, look, you know, how red the market is. Sell everything you have with no profit. And you know what they do then? They run off and buy what you just sold and they make the profit, etc. And then there's the other camp. Other crazy ones that know or are absolutely convinced that Bitcoin will reach 1 million. They're like, I don't know, enlightened or something. They know it will reach 1 million. So obviously no one serious says that they actually know anything for certain in the crypto sphere. But there are a lot of not so serious people who know, probably because they have, I don't know, they're more of a Bitcoin sect than they have a Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Either way, it's all about being ready to accept both options. Well, that's at least what the intelligent ones do. Now, a wise man once said that the test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed views in mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. So basically, you should be able to entertain the idea that Santa Claus is a pleasant old man in a red suit, as well as the fact that in reality, no one actually knows what he looks like, and maybe, just maybe, he may be a red-assed baboon. Anyway, what this boils down to is that we don't need incredible intellectual or cognitive skills to be able to rationalize and analyze a situation. All we need is to be open-minded enough to listen to the opinion of the critic. We need to be curious of these saying contradictory things to what we believe in or what we want to believe in. You know, the way I do it is when I learn something new. Now let's just stick to the crypto sphere with our examples. Let's say it's January 2018 and there is a leak that there is a great new cryptocurrency out called Tron. And I get some intel that says that its price is going to really like pick up and grow quickly and steadily, that there's a great idea behind it and so on. So what do? Well, I Google Tron and look for evidence that proves the opposite. I want to find out what the skeptics have to say. I want to have two opposite opinions so I can make my own mind up. I'm not scared of the discomfort of that cognitive dissonance that we spoke about earlier. You know, that unpleasant feeling that, oh no, maybe I wasn't right. I just open myself to the possibility that if the truth is on the other side of the barricade, then I want to know, because that's what, you know, investing money depends on. This is an investment and you're investing, you know, sometimes big money. So it's worth knowing what you're investing in, and in order to know exactly what you're investing in, you need to know the full spectrum of information. So coming back to Tron, after I heard that it's such an amazing project that you just invest because its value is just going to increase in exponential speed, I started looking for the voices of skeptics, and I sure as hell found them. it turned out that there are articles in Chinese that the creator of this cryptocurrency, Justin Sun, has actually been linked to some dodgy projects. Now, this additional information made me change my investment strategy when it comes to the TRX token. I decided that instead of keeping it in the long, so holding on to it for a longer amount of time, I would buy it, wait for it to increase, because there was info that it surely would increase in the short run. And then I bought different tokens with it, as I decided that the voices of the skeptics are too rational not to take them into consideration. They basically made me think that the project's foundations were too volatile to be able to keep its value in the long run. So after a few years, if the owner doesn't do something about his problematic past, it will be difficult for it to sustain value. We'll see. Now, I'm still going to monitor the project because it still kind of looks pretty good, and I'm still going to analyze arguments on both sides of the barricade, though for now that's my strategy, and I will keep updating my decisions based on this. And that's why, if you're a total till death do us apart fan of Bitcoin, if you believe that its price will keep rising and that it's going to bring down governments and it's going to beat the American dollar and whatever else, cool. But I encourage you to open yourself up to contradictory opinions. Read forums with skeptics talking about what they think about Bitcoin. It's not just about agreeing with them or not agreeing with them, with the skeptics. It's about understanding their point of view so that you can have a broader perspective. You'll be ready for different unexpected outcomes and you'll make better decisions. On the other hand, if you're a total skeptic of cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrencies are evil. They will introduce just havoc into the world. It's a pointless idea of romantics and anarchists. Then also open yourself to the opinions of the fanatics. See what arguments they have, why they believe it is the voice of the future. And make your opinion on the basis of this. Even if you stay loyal to your own prior kind of opinion, at least you'll be even more sure of your own approach. So summing up, remember that when it comes to investing, it's only the minority that actually win. So only a few % of people earn on speculation and more than 90% lose. This is some pessimistic statistics. And this is because most people make decisions based on their emotions. They'll hear something here, get worked up over there, and then they'll get scared because they have too little information and too little knowledge, and then they don't know how to react. If you have more information, then you know how to react and you know how to make better decisions more often. No one is going to have 100% certainty ever, because that's basically impossible, though it would be nice to have at least 2 or 3 times more efficiency, and you can achieve this by having the bigger picture or the broader perspective. And you can only achieve this by opening yourself up to the opinions of other people, and especially to the opinions of those who have opposite opinions to you, as painful as it is. And I guarantee that usually at the beginning, when you hear opinions different to yours, you experience that cognitive dissonance. So you feel uncomfortable and bad with yourself and the world. And yeah, that moment is really unpleasant. But remember that you're not here for the pleasure. You're not investing or speculating for pleasure. You're investing for money. To change $1,000 into 10 grand or 100 grand. It can't be pleasant all the time. It will be pleasant later when you pay everything out and you can enjoy life. And that's exactly what I wish for you. So make sure to keep your eyes and ears wide open to both sides of the barricade. Doesn't matter whether you're investing in crypto or in whatever else, because I'm sure that this will help you make better and smarter decisions, and as a result, get higher profits. So have a great day and see you in the next video.